Hi and welcome to this chess channel. Thank you for visiting it, it's appreciated. Here is a position that occurred on my cell phone on chess.com today, a 5-minute game. Black is to move and black plays here Queen E2. Now this sort of rattled my cage quite a bit. Now I could play just Rook F8 or something else. Now I played something else, but that doesn't mean it's the correct move. In fact, the correct move here, according to Fritz 11, is Rook here. And then it's not too bad for white, but it's still a little bit sort of hair raising. So here we go. I here played and got away with, like I just said to you, I played here what? There, rook takes rook, rook here, nope, because it's quite hard to, it might be rook takes rook, but here I played rook g6, and my opponent here played the wrong move. My opponent should play king h8, and that will lead to a bad position for white, which it's probably already a bad position. So after king h8, black's probably quite safe and winning as well, I believe. But my opponent, however, played g takes hg6. And so that gave me a very free hand of queen g6, king h8. And then I was thinking, oh, now what? This is what I truly thought when I was playing it. Is I thought, oh, no, I'm going to lose another one. I've lost a lot. So I went queen h6, I found it, yay. And then I found this. And then he went, I thought, what am I going to do after king f7? Duh. And then I went, rook check, king here. Queen takes, knight here, queen takes, or rook takes, just checkmate.
Checkmate.
So that's that. But anyway, now I will show you a game where what I saw a game between a Chinese grandmaster and one of our top chess players of the country. And that game was a rapid, and he had played against the Alekhines defense, the grandmaster played against the Alekhines defense, and so he played a move that inspired me to play it in this sort of situation, even though I didn't get e6 in for white. So here we go, e4, c5, b4, of course, the wing gambit. And as previously mentioned, Magnus Carlsen plays a3 first and then b4, so it can't be all too bad, but I'm just offering the pawn up. You've got to be a bit bold. So a3, and my opponent declines on capturing the second pawn, which is only really one pawn at the end of the day. So here I go, capture, and biff the bishop back, and it goes to e7. So notice that the freedom of activity for white in regards to development. Now here I could actually play, thinking about it, I could actually play this move here, queen h5 check, where upon g6 would not do for black, because white would merely take this pawn with the bishop, and in some cases can take it with the queen and do a queen sacrifice, but white would take this pawn with bishop g6, hg6, queen h8, thereby threatening queen g8 check, even if white is met with nibbling away at these pawns. So here we go. I didn't play that, I played f4 here. And I will just check the engine is off because it's showing me things that it isn't. So here we go, and I take back on fe5. So my opponent now plays g6. So this is where I'm thinking I want to basically move this H pawn up here to nibble away at this G pawn. This is a wee plan, just a small plan. It's not a huge hard plan to find. So I first play knight F3 to prepare H4, because if I do H4 immediately, then all of a sudden my king's going to be in trouble, because H4 will lead to, as the red arrow points out, bishop takes H4 check, which may be good, maybe not. I don't know. It may be right, it may be crazy. Taking the pawn on H4 may be right, may be crazy. That's not me trying to, that's not me or a song I've made up. That's a song from Billy Joel, who's one of my all-time favourite greats. And do you know the first song, I think the first song that he came out with, or the one that was a solid gold hit from on the LP, was The Entertainer. I think that's the first song that went to charts. I am the entertainer, and I know just where I stand. I'm not a serenader. Anyway, we're not singing. So here we've got knight F3. I can't quite sing anyway. Knight F3. Knight F3. And something's happened to this, so we'll just reload it. Something's happened. I will have to just go out of this and open another one. I have to open another one first, which is the one I've just shown you, and then I have to open that again. So here we got this. Sorry about that. I was doing a bit of singing, that's what I'm apologising for. It's all good to repeat things anyway. I'm not saying these are the greatest moves in the world. So we've got bishop d7. So here, as promised, I play this battering ram move, which can just like devastate black's kingside defensive position, or whatever, wherever they're going to castle. So I don't want white. White doesn't want black to castle on the queen side, but it might not be bad actually. If we look over that side, it doesn't look very good. So h4, and so now what did white? I think the queen went out, or some pawn move or something. Yeah, pawn move. This is really bad. This is like, ouch. This is not the correct move, and this may be a finger drop. It might be a frustration move, or it might be just what they thought was okay, but it's not. So I just take the pawn, of course I do, and then after king f8, only move, king f8 is the only move. There's no other move to make here for black. There's nothing to put in the way, or one can't take the bishop on g6, so a castle. And now I'm just threatening basic things like knight g5. I'll show you. Okay, I'm just threatening basic stuff like knight g5 and rook f7 check. That's what I'm threatening. So I'll give you an example. a6, okay, new variation. Knight g5, that'll probably stuff it. Now if king g7 now, then all I have to do is play rook f7 check, and there are these moves to king h6. But then I think I saw this. If king h6, then I just play what? Knight takes e6 check, and then we pick up the queen on d8. But we have king g6, and then we have checkmate on the spot, almost. So we have checkmate almost on the spot, which is the following: queen d3 check. Now, as you would appreciate, the king can't take the knight or move here or here, cannot take the rook, cannot go here or here all those places are dead to black. So black has only one move, is king h6, even though there was not f6 way earlier on in this analysis. Now we have rook h7 check. Okay, rook h7, and then we have queen h7 checkmate, as the computer Fritz 11 proves. So here we've got king g7. So to prove that I saw this in 5-minute chess, I play knight g5 with that same idea which I've just shown you. So this just threatens rook f7, very nasty, so black plays bishop g5, you see, and I just play bishop g5 because of course I'm attacking the queen on d8. So now knight ge7 happens, and now I'm not sure what I play now, but I think it was bishop f6 check. No, it was bishop h5, just greedy guts. Bishop h5, and that's keeping my bishop. Now I'm getting a bit scaredy cat. Not that cats are scared like me. So here we have queen b6. Now this proves to be not the best thing for black to do, but it is very, very difficult, let's face it. Here black cannot play knight f5 because the bishop takes queen, so black plays queen b6. Now in normal circumstances this is threatening something. What is it threatening? So if it's a normal chess position, which this isn't, it's a little bit sad really, just about anything. That's the problem with chess, just about anything wins. In fact, I think this wins, pardon me, really quickly, doesn't it? Looks like it wins. So I'll show you what happens if I play this. Okay, now black plays king g8. Okay, now say I play queen g4, going aha, this looks very good. Bishop f6 check mate, almost, because the knight can go to g6 and it's checkmate next move. But then we've got the move that would possibly counter all this, is this wee little fancy move. Now I'm not saying that this is good, but I'm saying it's annoying. I cannot capture the knight back, of course, because that's check to the king of mine on g1. How dare my king maybe possibly get in check? So I have to be very careful of these sorts of things, which can spangle the brain at this age of over 40. So here we go with my move here after queen b6 was bishop f6. But of course, now that is also, I thought, haha, protecting this e5 pawn from being captured by the knight where I cannot recapture. So now I can, if the knight happens to take that the e5 pawn. So here my opponent, probably getting quite annoyed by now, plays king h7. Now this isn't too bad. However, now I have bishop g6. Now that was probably going to be my exercise for the day. What would you play here? I played bishop g6. Can you work out my analysis from there on in? So just try and work out the analysis of bishop g6, about what happens if the king takes, and what happens if the knight takes, and what happens if nothing takes. So here we go. Here's the analysis, or this is the way the game went, and my opponent went king g8. Now I went bishop f7, another smart move, kind of, possibly, I don't know. King f7 and bishop h8 check, and knight f5. Now what would you play? Has the attack run out of steam? Do I have to play g4 now, Your Honour, or bishop f6, or do I play something else? Of course, I throw my queen out to h5. Why not? And then the king, I believe, went here. No, it didn't. But I think that the king should go there. But it is quite sad for black after rook f4. That's what I remember I thought of playing after king g8. I was just going to play here. And yeah, and if king g8, the king can't take the bishop on h8, but the rook could if it was possible. And then rook g4 is very, very sad for black. If they're not already pretty upset by now, they're probably thinking I'm cheating, which I probably am. So here we have king f8, and here I have a little wee tricky move. Is the move, where is my next move? What's my next move? What do you think you play next? I'm not saying this is the best move. Please do not hear me say that. I'm not saying that at all. I play queen h6, and obviously the great word from Judge Rinder, he doesn't like, of course, is the knight cannot capture, because that would mean that the king is under attack for my white rook on f1. So my opponent moves to e7. So now the next part of the equation is what? Is bishop f6 check, of course. Now we're tying the king down, tying the kangaroo down spot, but we're tying the king down. So I go king f7, my opponent does, and I now go queen h7, which is just eyeing up the rook on a8 over there on the black's queen side. And I've still got this pawn covered on here. So here is queen h7, and then we have queen h8, king f7, queen a8. Now it goes a little bit crazy now. Knight d4 and cd4, queen d4, and if this was a normal position, like I hadn't won a bit of material, then I'd be quite upset with this, because black's obviously going to play queen takes rook next move. So I play king h2, and now my opponent drops the ball, probably out of disgust or frustration, plays the blunder of the game, which might be one of them only, is queen h4, and I just go bishop h4, and that's the end of this game. My opponent, by the way, was 2183 from USA. Again, USA. 2183. Now I found that a particular race of people on this planet do not like being attacked. I found that out today, or yesterday I mean. And so they do not like being attacked. They do not like it, Sam I am. They do not like being attacked, I hear, sort of thing. Okay, thank you very much for viewing this session. I hope you enjoyed today's session. I could leave you with just one problem, okay? And this is a problem that you can look at and pause and try to work it out. White is to checkmate black in 2 moves against any defense. Here it is. So this is the position. So there you have it. This is the position that white is to move and checkmates black against all possible defenses, be that good defenses, not silly ones. Over and out.